Hey guys, welcome back to Awakening by Truth. So today's topic I really wanted to talk about that I was thinking about a lot, and I've talked about this on other episodes. It's just kind of like somewhere blended in the episode, but I wanted to talk just about like social media and phone addiction. I think it's, especially in the world today, something that is huge, and it's cool to have all this technology and stuff, but a lot of our world has been just, even, the kids in today's day and age is just addicted, hooked on the phones and tablets. And while it's nice to have those things, and we do need technology for certain things, we really need to limit our time on them. You can even look at your phone and track your screen time just so you know how much you're checking your phone a day, and just maybe try to limit that. I'll find myself all the time, just sometimes I'll have so many things on my list to do, and then all of a sudden I find myself aimlessly scrolling. And of course it's cool to look at videos on Instagram and TikTok and stuff sometimes, because there is a lot of cute little life hacks and stuff. I like looking at it for recipes, healthy dessert protein things to make and stuff like that, and it's cool to use it for that stuff, but you just really need to limit your access and make sure that's not all you're doing all day, especially in your free time. You work full time and then you just go home and sit on your phone scrolling. I found myself doing it many times, and I'm like, well, what kind of life is this? There's so much more I could be doing right now, not just sitting glued to my phone. And trust me, I am not calling anybody out that does it, because I am guilty of it myself. I've just been working on, not doing that as much, and trying to keep busy. And, maybe at the end of the night when have been really productive and I've done everything I need to do, maybe I'll scroll for 10 minutes. But I try to never make it more than that, 10 minutes a day at the most, and just, not get too wrapped up in it. And another thing is how things can be perceived on social media. We don't even realize that this can affect our mental health. Especially on Instagram, you're just looking, or TikTok, you're looking at all these people's lives, and we're always going to post the good things. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has ups and downs in life. We're not going to post the bad things. I mean, sometimes we do, if somebody passes away or something, but, rarely do people see the bad times, and you'll look and you'll compare yourself to other people's lives. I've done it so many times, or you see these beautiful women all over Instagram, models, and I'm just I wish I could be them. And then you start getting really low on yourself and hard on yourself and judging yourself. God made us all different shapes, sizes, colors, for different reasons. We were supposed to love each other for our souls, not what we look like on the outside. And I feel social media can tend to portray that that's how you have to be. I remember growing up, bullied for my weight, and I had so many issues with self-esteem and stuff, because I was I'm fat and ugly. I saw, even in articles and stuff, you see these supermodels and you're why, you strive and aspire to be them. Why couldn't God make me like that? Why couldn't I be that beautiful and that thin? Why do I have to struggle with my weight, And then for many years, I let a lot of people use me because I had no respect for myself. I thought I was ugly and fat and not worthy of anything good. And, I think a lot of that stemmed from just social media. I'll even be, this is embarrassing to talk about, but I'll even be straight up and honest. It's embarrassing, but as a kid, I was a catfish. I felt so low about myself. I didn't understand, no guys ever wanted me. And I was friends with really beautiful girls who, who were popular and got all the guys. And I made, fake MySpaces. This was when MySpace was a thing. And I picked girls who were beautiful and thin. And I pretended to be them and dated people, for that attention. And it honestly, it's kind of pathetic to say now, but it's something I did. Okay, I'm human. I was a child back then. I know obviously better now. And I did it. I when you do things in life, you have to be straight up about them and honest. Clearly there was some issues, going on there in my childhood, and I didn't like the person I was. So I escaped by being some pretty fake girl on MySpace, because I didn't like who I was as a person. And I really wished that I looked like that girl. whose photos I used. And it was not right to do that. I know all this now. Trust me, I dealt with some harsh, consequences because I just got wrapped up into these, other lives, and I completely lost myself. And, I did and said a lot of things I'm not proud of for attention. And, I can own up to it now. And, I definitely learned from it. But that's just an example, of how social media can negatively affect us in ways as well. And also just the drama, politics, all these different things. I'm just so tired of seeing people argue. We were supposed to all come together, and all these things were created in the world to separate us. And that's another thing that could be negative about social media. I don't want to see all the arguing and fighting and people debating back and forth. So I just try to use it for positive things, like keeping up with family, posting family photos, being a part of cool groups, and support groups. I try to use it for positive things like that, because there is good things we can use it for as well. We just have to be careful not to get wrapped up in the bad things. And like I said, just limiting, our access. Sometimes I'll find myself, people be you type so fast. I get so wrapped up in a text message and talking to somebody, then I'm focused on that. And here I am typing away at my phone, and and it's really rude if somebody's having a conversation with you and you see a text and you're just texting away, and it's almost disgusting. I'm when I find myself doing that, I'm whoa, I'm acting like a slave to my phone right now. This is not okay. And you're not present in the moment. When you're just typing away on your phone, you're missing so many other things that are going on. And I found myself doing that many times. So it's something I try to work on. I think it's an anxiety thing too. If somebody texts me, I always feel like I have to respond right away. Or if they see I read the text or something, it gives me anxiety because they're probably wondering why I'm not responding, or wondering if I'm mad at them. And it's just so stupid. It just shows how the phones honestly cause more anxiety. I kind of think things were so much more genuine back when we knocked on each other's doors and called on the house phones and got so excited, oh, my friend's gonna call me after school. It was so much more exciting back then. Now there's just too much access, which it's good to have for emergencies and stuff like that, but I just feel things were so much more genuine, before cell phones and social media and all that took over. I kind of miss, how it was back then. Yeah, you just sometimes, as much as I love technology for certain things, I do kind of miss at times, the way things used to be. So yeah, it's just really important to, obviously I'm not saying delete social medias, but if you need to take a social media break, do it. I've done it before. Deactivate your Facebook for a couple weeks. Do whatever you need to do for yourself and your mental health. And just my best advice, would be, like I said, limiting your screen time and just trying your best to use social media and all those things for positive outlets. For me, it's my podcast, like I said, family things. That is how I try to do it. I try not to get wrapped up in the drama or the negative things or the petty things. And I try my best not to compare myself to other people's lives, or, because I do tend to do that a lot. Or I see somebody has something and I'm oh, I should be doing this, this, and this. I need to be doing more to be a better mom and a better partner. And it's just, we should never compare. And I do think looking at posts and stuff, I do that a lot. So like I said, just trying to use social media and your phone for more positive things, not just to sit there and scroll. Use your phone. I use my phone for a lot of things, to write out grocery lists. I use my phone obviously to shop sometimes, which I very much enjoy doing. Doing a podcast, just try, listening to music. Try your best watching news clips, reading a book. You can, if you don't like paperback, I'm a paperback girly, but if you prefer audio listening or reading a book from your phone, there's so many positive things we can use it for. We don't have to just sit there aimlessly scrolling. So yeah, there's so much more I could say, but I'll just keep babbling for hours. So I just wanted to touch on that topic just a little bit and remind everybody, do not let social media bring down who you are as a person, because I've done that before. And just please don't compare yourself to other people, because I promise that person that looks like they have a perfect life, nobody is perfect, and they have daily struggles and hurdles in life just as the rest of us. None of us are perfect out here, so just always try to remember that and never compare yourself, and just know that you are good enough. I appreciate all my supporters listening, and thank you, everybody. Have a great week.